Martin Luther King Jr. is best known as an American civil rights leader. He was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. Influenced by his father and his congregation, young King dreamed of being a great speaker. The idea of using words as weapons intrigued King and grew with him. After schooling, King was ordained as a Baptist minister in 1947. The following year, he entered theological studies at Crozer Theological Seminary. It is here that King found his passion for nonviolence and love based on Gandhi's beliefs. He stayed devoted to these beliefs throughout his entire career. On June 18, 1953, King married Coretta Scott in Marion, Alabama. Shortly after their marriage, King was called to be a pastor at Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. This would be a turning point in both their lives and American history. Montgomery was a rigidly segregated city. There were thousands of blacks residing in this city, with little hope that their lives would ever improve. On December 1st, 1955 in Montgomery, Rosa Parks was ordered to give her seat up to a white man. Her refusal triggered a 381-day bus boycott. This led the Supreme Court to a decision declaring the segregated transit system unconstitutional. King became the principal leader of the Montgomery Improvement Association, which led the boycott as thousands of local blacks cooperated in an effective nonviolent response to segregation. In 1957, King and a good friend formed a group with about 24 other black ministers. The organization was named the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC. Some of King's greatest accomplishments occurred between 1963 and 1965. In the spring of 1963, the SCLC carefully planned a nonviolent confrontation in Birmingham, Alabama. As a result, King was arrested. During his stay at the Birmingham jail, he wrote his famous Letter from Birmingham Jail in 1963. In this letter, he articulated the principles of nonviolent resistance. The letter included this quote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Shortly after King's release, John F. Kennedy urged the nation to take action towards equal rights for every American regardless of race. This took place on June 6, 1963. Following Kennedy's speech, King and many others led the March of Washington on August 28, 1963. More than 200,000 people took part in this march. It was here that King gave his legendary "I Have a Dream" speech, calling on the nation to rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed, that all men are created equal.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.
In the years to follow, King continued to believe in nonviolent reform. In 1968, King was planning another march on Washington. In April, he traveled to Memphis, Tennessee to support a local sanitation workers' strike. It was here, on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel on April 4th, he was shot to death by James Earl Ray. Martin Luther King Jr. was a great leader. He was a leader of the Montgomery Improvement Association, the SCLC, as well as the Sign of Hope for all African Americans in the years of his leadership. Because of his extreme passion and enthusiasm, King was a very influential speaker. His legacy lives on. There's an American holiday in honor of his birthday. There are memorials all over the United States, including malls, memorial parks, and statues. King's bravery and passion paved the way for equal rights in America.